Hey guys, True Grit, Scott Bulletproof Saws. Working on a couple 46 builds, and I got the idea, and I don't know how this is going to work out. I might go all over the place in this video, but I wanted to talk to you a little bit about piston, mostly cylinder combinations and what I'm seeing. It's funny, I've done a few 46 builds, and generally that wasn't a build that I did a lot of, and I always preferred the 44, but the 46 has been growing on me. I don't have enough out in the field for a long enough time to really say, but it seems to be pretty solid. In that, I'm noticing some differences in cylinders. I got a couple different batches of 46s this month, and while I think the cylinders are from the same casting, some minor things seem different in them, in the plating, how clean they are, and it's mind-boggling to me how this is happening. You know, it wasn't saws that I got, you know, a year or two ago, comparing them to now, because, and I wish I had some of those cylinders lying around, because I'd like to compare those. But I want to show you a few things. I got 3 46 cylinders sitting here, and I got 2 44 cylinders. I got a slant fin OEM Stihl cylinder. I have a highway Titan nickel. It's a big bore cylinder, so it's a little bit different, but I just want to show you for the sake of the plating and what it looks like. Then I have 2 cylinders that I'm working on doing some port work on, and then I got the one I showed you in another video, and I'm not totally thrilled with this, because this is one of the ones where there was plating that I chipped off with a screwdriver, you know, where it was covering the transfers, so you can't see quite how ugly it was, because I kind of knocked some of that off with a screwdriver already, but it's something to compare. So I'm going to pause you, I'll zoom you in, and we're going to just take a look at these cylinders, and I'll show you what I'm seeing, and you'll get to see a little bit of port work that I have going on in process. And I guess that'll open me up to discussion, what you like, what you don't like, but it'll give you a view on what I'm looking at, and I'll tell you what I'm thinking. So I don't know if this is a useful video, but it's just some compare and contrast stuff. Anyhow, let me pause you guys, and I'll bring you guys closer. Okay guys, I'm going to start off with these 2 44 cylinders. Again, there's a 2mm difference in them. One's a big bore, one's an OEM slant fin. The OEM slant fin was pulled off of a saw that actually got submerged in a flood, and it sat for a little while, and he dropped it off here for me to just check out. I want to see port timing numbers and things like that on this older one. But you could see it's a D cylinder. I'm hoping you could see in there. Trying to get you to where I got light. I'm looking through the camera and it's making me go nuts. But what you could see is inside the transfers is pretty darn clean. They're nicely shaped. I mean, they're beautiful cylinders. This is an OEM stamped steel cylinder. I didn't look at it real hard to see, you know, if who made the cylinder, but it is stamped steel, and it's beautiful. But what I'm going to tell you, and I've seen a lot of steel cylinders that aren't as nice as that one. You go to the highway. Granted, this is clean, and I realize what I'm doing here. Not a D cylinder. The combustion chamber's a little bit smallish, but beautiful squish band, beautiful plating, beautiful shaping to those ports. You know, these are wonderful cylinders. Now, I have one here, and this is a 46 cylinder we've seen in another video. I'm going to drop this flashlight for a second. I don't know if you guys could see the difference from the batches, but this cylinder from the previous batch is a heck of a lot more silvery looking, but everything that I look at tells me it's the same casting, just somebody did different on the plating. But what shocked me on these was, and I hope you could see this, if you look inside there, this is the older one that I had. If you look up in there, let me get my flashlight again for you. Maybe that helps. If you look up in there, you could see how much dirtier the squish band is. you could see, well, I cleaned the ports on the other one, so you're not going to be able to see it. But you could just see. Now, here's my problem. I have, these ones were noticeably cleaner. Yeah, the base is already cut. I did a little bit of transfer work. You could see where I did a little bit on the uppers, did a bunch on the lowers, cleaned up the exhaust, made her a little bit bigger, and you could see some of the work that I did on these. And then if you compare it to the stock one, yeah, it's smaller, it's dirtier, and like I said, I chipped off some of that Nicosil that was blocking the ports on this one. I think one of those other two had that also. But you could just see the total difference, and you guys remember this because this had the void in it. Weird thing about that void, I saw a YouTube video where a guy was doing an OEM, I think it was a 44 or 46 cylinder, and I have to go back and I have to find that video. It wasn't one of the normal saw guys that I watch, and he was showing how to, you know, deck the cylinders by hand, and I swear that OEM cylinder had that exact same void, which was interesting, or maybe I saw something funny. It was late, I was distracted, but I have to go back and find that. So anyhow, here's a little look at some of the port work that I do. You can see the uppers, the lowers. And then, granted, this is 2 millimeters bigger than this 44 cylinder. Both D cylinders, so if you go and you look at the OEM cylinder, God, I can't hold 2 cylinders, and maybe if I put the flashlight in my mouth, but then I can't talk. Yeah, we'll figure out a way to do this, guys. I don't know that that helps anyway. Alright, flashlight out of the mouth. That doesn't work. But you could start seeing some of the differences. If you look at the intake, I try to keep the shapes the same as what I see on the OEMs, just because, you know what? These guys know what they're doing. I'm not going to make up a new shape. God, I wish that OEM cylinder I could get more light in it. I don't know. Maybe I'll watch this video. If it's terrible, I won't even post it. But I'm trying to give you guys a little bit of a look. Well, that's a little bit better. Maybe you can see. Anyhow, guys, just trying to say, I'm going to pause this and just talk to you. I think it'll be easier. Well, fellas, I don't know. I probably just wasted my time in even trying to do that. I probably need another set of hands here to help me out. But the point that I'm making is that if you think OEM cylinders are the best quality, you're not wrong. Highway makes a damn nice one, and you know, you saw me go through where I had a problem on a 46 cylinder and they get back to me and they say they're going to fix it. Wonderful. I really like the tight nickel cylinders from Highway. On these 46 Farmertec cylinders, I like them too. And I've had some really good luck with Farmertec cylinders after they're cleaned up. One of the points that I'm trying to make is that between batches, the quality of the cleanness, the cleanliness of the casting varies so widely. One of the reasons I don't like pre-built saws, because when it's put together already, either you're taking it apart and you're cleaning it up yourself, but if you're not doing that, are you getting a clean cylinder, a semi-clean cylinder, or are you getting a dirty one? And I don't know what I'm going to get. So that's the reason we build saws, because I can control all of that stuff and swap it out, which you could do on a pre-built, but at that point, I'd rather a built saw where I touched every screw, every bolt, everything has been inspected, touched in my hands. Just makes me feel a lot better. We're going to see how these run. I screwed the pooch yet again. I wanted to take that OEM 44 build and run it with a 36-inch bar against the clone build, and of course the clone build went out the door. This is a problem I'm having with saws. I can't build enough to get ahead to where I can hold on to a saw for any length of time before it winds up going out the door. Somebody got a saw stolen, they need a saw. I don't have a choice. I have to sell it to them, and I can't get far enough ahead with stock to have a saw where I could sit on it for a couple weeks and do all the testing I want with everything else going on and do these shootouts. So I realize that my videos are imperfect. I'm trying to improve, and I'm trying to do that. And maybe if I get the chance, I'll build a saw that will keep here that will be able to test against some stuff. But then the OEM saw will be gone by then, and it's always a moving target. So much like the clone saws in general, my life is a moving target, guys. And I try to do the best I can and show you some stuff, but it's hard with, you know, you guys juggle life too. You know what it's like. I guess that's everything I wanted to show you on these. Man, I hope I showed you the squish bands on these. The older batch, dirty. The newer batch, clean. The ports were much nicer on this. I believe that the timing is going to wind up being the same because I think it is the same casting. Just coated different, and I don't know how that happens. I guess that's my big question, is how do you have cylinders that I can't guarantee it because I don't know, but from everything that I can see and every measurement I can take, they were cast at the same place, but the coating's different. Do you have an A team and a B team doing the coating on cylinders? Is it, you know, the older one was the Monday cylinder where everybody was hung over, and this is the Wednesday when everybody was back in the groove of working? Because it's a significant difference, and I don't know if that translated on video. But again, the moving target thing, I don't know. I hope this video works out and you get to see something. I'll review it and see if everything was just too dark. I had extra lights on trying to show you guys, and there's no great way for me to do this until I can get some assistance. Anyhow, guys, True Grit Scott, Bulletproof Saws, thanks for putting up with me.